Alright, so I had the head machined, checked over, new valves. So we went with the Ferrera valves, and we did go with the we did new springs, so it came with the kit. I'll put the kit in the link, and it came with new retainers, clips, and so these are the old valves. Let's just take a look at these things. So these would be the exhaust, I do believe. So, I mean, it didn't look horrible. A lot of carbon buildup, that's for sure, on the top of it. Let's just set that down there. I don't feel any cupping per se, but I think they were just worn. Definitely not bent. The guides checked out good. And we'll see if this makes a difference. It should. The last bike I did, that blue and yellow one, I want the blue engine. We went ahead and had the head done, and everything turned out good. So there's the other exhaust valve. Not horrible, but I mean, there's definitely some carbon buildup along the edges as well. I mean, you can see all the, I don't know if that's pitting, it might just be carbon, discoloration. So there's that exhaust, and then the intakes. These ones had a lot more carbon buildup on them. You can kind of see how rough it is around the edges. Definitely a lot more buildup on these. You know, for OEM valves, I mean, these are from 2003. I've never changed them. So there's definitely like a carbon lip on them. So I just felt more comfortable changing them, just so I had a reference of when they've been changed. And that way I could check the bottom end as well. Bottom end checked out all right. No issues down there, no playing the crank or anything. This one was a little bit more worse as far as carbon buildup. I mean, you can see all the carbon buildup on there. Maybe a little pitting there. A little bit around this edge. So I think they were definitely due in time. I don't know about wear. I'd be curious to see, like, if I were to check the seats and the valves together, how bad they really were. He did all that, so leave that up to him because he's got the machines to do it and all that. So on that note, let's check the head. So we did new caps for the spring, new retainers for the spring, for the bottom, and then we did all new the retaining clips. Came all in a kit all together. I didn't know it came with the retaining clips. That was kind of a nice surprise. I thought it just came with, you know, the springs and the uppers, and you just reuse the clips, but we did get new ones. So let me pull one of these. Intake's all clean now, exhaust is all clean. So we went ahead and reshimmed the valves on the bench. We went and redid these two first, the exhaust. So this one was 3.10 and this one was 3.12. So after torquing everything down, we determined that we needed a 3.20 and a 3.20. So after you get the head machined, everything should be even. So these two will be the same and these two should be the same if all goes well. So on the intake, we ended up originally with a 2.80 and a 2.82. I don't know why they're usually come in 5.5 increments, so I don't know why this was a 2.82. It might have been an OEM shim, but we ended up reshimming this to what was that, 3.0? So both of them came out to 3.0. So that gives us a feeler gauge of 0.15. So we're right in the middle there. These two gave us a feeler gauge of 0.25. So we're right in the middle there. So intake is 0.10 to 0.20. So we are at 0.15. So right in the middle. And the exhaust is 0.20 to 0.30, so we are at 0.25, so we are right in the middle. So we are good with this head. Definitely easier to do it on the bench rather than on the bike. And if you guys want to do it on the bench, I do recommend doing it that way. If you guys look at this chart, I'll have my wife explain this to you guys better.
So what you want to go with is the original shim size that was in the bike to begin with, and then whatever spec you're coming up with is on the left-hand side. So you read, let's say we're at a 2.65 and we're coming out at 0.41, so you would follow this diagram across to 2.65, and that would give you the 2.85 shim to use in order to change the spec to where you need to be, lower or higher. The same goes with the intake, is you go with the original shim size and what your spec is coming out to, and then you follow the diagram across so you can see where we were. We needed a shim that would meet the 2.85, which was what we started with because we had to just start from scratch. And then we were coming up at 0.30, and you follow that diagram across and it gives you the 3.0 shim. And when we checked it, it was in spec at 0.15.
So the wife and I got this all shimmed up. We got the Ferrera, there's the caps there. And then we had shimmed it all up to make it within spec. So we did it all on the bench. A little easier to do it that way. And came out good. So definitely right in the middle of all the specs. So when we put it back together, we should have no issues. But I will definitely check once it's in there again. Just make sure you set your cams accordingly to the way they would be if your chain was on there. And then torque everything down. So we did it like 2 or 3 times just to make sure, because we had to use a base of what we had in there. And then we took that value and just upped it 5, I think it was, and then buttoned everything back up. So this one should be good to go. I am going to get this in hopefully this weekend. I'm just waiting on rings and a new retaining washer for the clutch. The one you bend over the bolt, or the nut. And then we should be good to go. I don't think this thing's gonna need much anything else at this point. Head cleaned up nice. I'm pleased with it. So the intake was all cleaned out. He soda blasted that. And then the exhaust was all cleaned out as well. So we have a nice clean surface to deal with. So this thing will be like new. So we will get this in the next day or two, and we'll see how she sounds. I have a strong suspicion it's going to sound a lot better than it did, but we will see. Like I said, the last one I did, I had the head machined. We ground the valve angles and all that, and it was a lot quieter than it was. I mean, the bikes that I've had that have low hours definitely don't sound like my 03. So that's why I went ahead and did the valves. In due time, it was time. And I just wanted to check the crank as well. So everything checked out good. So we will get this thing back together and we will get this thing running again here soon. So that way I can go hit the dirt again and not have to take my street bike. But I've used Kibble white valves before, no issues. And I mean, I don't own the bike anymore, so the longevity of it, I'm not sure. But everybody recommends Ferrera, so we went with Ferrera, and that's what we're gonna run with from now on, I guess, on my bikes. So like I said, I am gonna hone out the piston cylinder and put new rings in it. Compression was about 125. I do believe spec is 140, 142-ish, I think. So I'm gonna do that. We'll check the rings. I know I don't have any valve leaks at this point because I've had the head machined, but I mean, he did a nice job on there, so it's all ready to go and all smooth and flat and true.
So ring gap, compressed ring gap, top ring should be 0.08 to 0.20. So let's get my feeler gauges out here. And find the right one. So 0.08 to 0.20 or 0.003 to 0.008. Point 08. Big. So 24, gotta find all my small ones here. So 0.0025, so 20, 0.0015. Let's try a 1.5. Kind of hard to see in there. So 1.5 is good. Let's try something bigger. Let's try a 2.0. If I even have that size. I should, because I'm gonna murder this fly in here because he's hounding me. 0.003, 0.006, 0.007. Let's try my other gauges here. .008. So point 0.003 to 0.008. So here's a 0.008. A little tight there. Let's try 0.00. I don't know if I even have one that small. Probably time for some new feeler gauges. Here's a 0.003 that I need. Yeah, so 0.003. So 3 is definitely loose. 0.004. Good. That was a 0.0015. Point 0.003, 0.005. Good there. Point 0.007. So I'd say we've got 0.006. And 0.006. So it looks like we are at 0.008. So we're at 0.008. This is a 0.007. Yeah, I'm gonna say 0.007. .007. Do I have a 0.008? Thought I did. 2.5. These are all big. Here's a 0.009. Definitely can't get that in there. There's a 0.008. So we can get that in there. It definitely is a little bit tighter, but it's in there. That's the top ring. So we have 0.008 for that one. And then the next ring is this one here. I'll go ahead and work that in there. And use my piston to push it down there. So the second ring thickness should be 0.008 or 0.003 to 0.008 again. So 0.008. Is this one? Yeah, right there, 0.008. So we'll run with that. Let's check my old rings just for shits and giggles. We don't want to mix these up. So the new ones. So my top ring from the old one. That went down just a little bit too far. And it's got a big gap, I can tell you that right now. It's a lot bigger than the other one. Let's see where we're at on that one. That one is a .008. And it's bigger than 8. It's bigger than 9. It's bigger than 10. Still got some play. And what about 12? 0.012. Yeah, I mean I'm already at 12. And it's definitely still going there. Do I got a 13? There's a 14.014. So looks like we're at 13, so we're definitely out of spec on that. So those rings, that one was warm, the top one. Second one should be the same service limit. Let's see where we're at with this one. 0.012. A little tight. 0.011. No. 0.010. And we're at 0.10. So we're definitely a little bit out of the service limit. So that is why I'm replacing them. So we will hone this out and we will get new rings on there. Get them all situated. On the piston, and then we're gonna get most of this back together tonight if we can. See how it goes. Alright, so here's the before. Got it all lubed up. So let's get this honed out. So go ahead and remove the oil ring. And we will get the other oil ring, if I can find it, somewhere around here. There it is. And we will get the wavy ring. If I can find that one. There it is. Alright, so everything looks good in there. I don't see any buildup or anything for concern to clean it or anything as far as the grooves go. I will just run one around it real quick just to make sure there's nothing stuck in there. Kind of take this end and just run it through. All right, so I'm gonna put the oil rings on first. So we'll go ahead and put our wavy ring in there first. These are the oil rings here. So we'll go ahead and put the wavy ring in. So they recommend so top ring and oil expander here. So we'll put the oil expander here. I mean, there is a hole there. I don't know. I mean, I really don't trust that. But that's what they recommend, so we're just gonna go with that. And then we put the oil ring in as well. I don't see any dots or any indication. There's no lip on it. So we'll go ahead and put that one on the bottom. So they recommend this one going right here, gap over here. So that would be the second or the bottom oil ring. Just gotta get it in the slot in the bottom. So they recommend that one there. So our expander is still split right in the middle there. And then the second oil ring they recommend over here. So that would be over this way. So that'll be the top ring on the oil. I hate putting rings on because these are so small. My fingers are so fat. So I'll just put that one in there like so. Just make sure it goes into that groove because we are now in the second ring. All right, so we're gonna just turn that one just a little bit. So it gets to about there. So right about there. And second ring. This one's got an R on it. I don't know if you can see that right there. So that is the second ring. They recommend second ring and oil ring bottom rail go here. So we're gonna go ahead and put the second ring there with the R going up. Like so. And then the top ring and oil expander ring, they just recommend the top going down. So I'm gonna clean this off, get some stuff on there. And then this one has the lip, so just make sure the lip goes up. So we're going to go ahead and install that one like so. So this is all by the book. This is how they recommend installing all the rings. That way then the gaps don't line up and stuff like that. So we'll get this one in there. Like so. We'll just turn that one there. And then my trick with these things are to put the piston in halfway. So you're just going to find the front. This is the front with the dot. And then I push them in through the bottom. That way when I go to install it, I don't have to fight it. I can just slide the pin in there and call it good. So we'll just lube this up a little bit. And then, so this will be the back. This is the front, so the front is facing me. So we'll just go ahead and set this in there. And then I get all my rings in line up, and then we'll go ahead and just push them down in there slowly. Sometimes it can be a pain, but they'll go. Just gotta go slow so that way they don't pop, bend, whatever. And then before I put this all back together, you know, I'll put some more coats of oil in there just to make sure everything is lubed up. But we'll get these rings in there. It's kind of the crappy part, is trying to get the rings in there. I found it easier to do it this way than to fight it while it's on the bike, because you just don't have much room to do it that way. So I'll get this down enough where, like I said, I can still slide the pin in. So right about there. So all your rings are in, but you are still able to slide this on the bike engine. And it just makes it a whole lot easier, guys. So we are all, get a flashlight. As you can see, we did do the hone in there. So we got a nice crosshatch going. And we should be good there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this as is for now. Push this down just a hair. And then I got somebody coming to drop off 3 bikes. I don't know if he's bringing all 3, but I know he's bringing at least 2 maybe. So there's 2 kids bikes and I think it's a TRX 450. So I think he's bringing the kids bikes now, and then we'll kind of go from there. But I'm trying to get this done so I can get this off the lift, and then I can work on these other bikes. So I might be up late tonight and tomorrow doing this just to get it out of my hair, and then he can I can work on his stuff and get it to him. So all right, so I got my bike running. Sorry guys, I didn't make a video of me putting it back together. I was in a time crunch. I had to do this all last night, and I was up to midnight getting it buttoned back up because I got these other bikes I got to deal with. So I will tell you, getting the head out and having it machined and all that, new valves, it is night and day. I mean, this thing is quiet. So I did the heat cycle, let it run for high idle for about 20 minutes or so until the fan kicked on twice. And then I'm going to go ahead and drain out the oil, and then I'll put some new oil in there and go ahead and run it for about 3 hours. You know, everybody has their own way. I watched this guy in Partzilla who recommends just running it how you're going to ride it, because if you don't, you baby it, and then when you go to ride it how you're going to ride it, you'll most likely have failures because the bike it'll be in shock. So I am going to drain the oil. So this video is before
definitely tell the difference. It is way quieter. I mean, honestly, before it just sounded like the top end was just gonna disintegrate on me. So I'll play a sound clip of both. You guys tell me what you think, but in person, it is a hell of a lot quieter. A lot of guys are just throwing timing chain remarks up on these posts, and honestly, you know, you may have a loose chain rattling a little bit, but I'm willing to bet 90% of these guys are complaining about noises. It's all coming from the valves. These bikes are old. This is an 03. This is the first time the valves have been done, and you know, riding these other bikes that I get that have low hours, they're a lot quieter. I mean, my 2014 is really quiet. The green flip bike I just bought is really quiet. It sounds like it does now. So if you guys are getting a lot of tapping, clanking, ticking, definitely send that head out, get it checked. Get those valve seats reground, get those valves reground, or just replace the valves themselves. I mean, 2003, this thing has been around for a while, you know, so better safe than sorry, guys. If you drop a valve, you're gonna be in a world of hurt, because you may cause more damage than just having to send the head out. I mean, I paid the guy 150 bucks. I supplied the valves, the springs, the retainers, the clips, all that stuff. We put it back together. I just had to reshim it, but I did not record any videos putting it back together because I was in a time crunch. I just wanted to get it back together. I stayed up late one night after work, got her back together, and the guy dropped those other two bikes off. So I just wanted to make sure I got this one done, out of the way, and she's running good, guys. Like I said, definitely send the head out to get checked if you guys are going to tear it down. It's a small fee to pay just to have somebody check it if they know what they're doing. And I did rejet this and take the airbox lid off. So we were at the stock jet at 130, and then I bumped it up to a 150. And I drove it with the airbox lid on. It didn't like it. It just kind of, you know, bogged out. So I popped the lid off, and she runs great now. Other than that, I think we're just going to go ahead and clean her up. Like I said, I need to get all that oil off that skid pan because it was on there when I did everything. So that's why you got the leaking oil there. Gets a little hot, starts running every way. So I'm going to conclude the video on this build or rebuild. And stay tuned for some more videos. I got the TRX 450R, doing a carb rebuild on that, and just a general service, adjust the chain, fluids, all that. And then a new battery. The two kids' bikes, they're getting new carbs, full service. I ordered a piece of plastic for the side that's missing on the red Outlaw, and a new bezel, and they just need to be gone through. Those three bikes haven't run in, I believe he said 3 years, so I mean, they all started up. They didn't run really well, but they did start up. So stay tuned for some more videos on that. And then the green Kawasaki KFX 400. I'll be posting some more videos of that. I mean, I'm really not going to do much of that except clean it up and service it up, and then just hang on to that for next season. Kind of get a jump start. I'll post it up on the market, see if I get any bites, but we are out of riding season at this point, so I'm not expecting to sell it. And then I did cut this hose down some so it's not rubbing on the thing there or touching the exhaust. But anyway, she's running great, so we'll see you on some new videos.